After having sunk hundreds of hours into the game over the past 8 months, my custom theme park Isle of Discovery in Planet Coaster 2 is now finally complete. With 9 different themed areas, 17 different roller coasters and a whole heap of flat rides, dark rides and water rides to go with it, and even a water park in the corner to boot, it has been an absolute pleasure building this entire resort. And in this episode, we are finally going to open the park to guests, have a small tour around it ourselves, and have one final show, a massive finale with fireworks and lights to end off this incredible 32-part series. I cannot believe it's coming to the end of this series already, but if you want to see more in the future, then be sure to subscribe to the channel, because I can assure you there is a new park series coming very soon. So yes, subscribe so you don't miss it. And if you're watching this at the time it is being released, then there will be a live stream tonight where I'm going to go through the park and answer any questions, ride some rides, so be sure to stay tuned for that as well. Enough with the talk, let's go into the park. And we have made it to the park. I'm just going to step out of my car. As you can see, the one car in the entire car park, and we'll walk along the pathways right here. As you can see off in the distance, you have Hotel Lunaris, the 4-star hotel right there. That is looking beautiful. And of course, directly in front we have the main entrance to Isle of Discovery. We're just going to get our bags checked real quick, place it right there, walk on through. Ow, just hit my head. And we are one of the first people in the Isle of Discovery Plaza area. I'd say the first person, but someone's clearly got a run on to try and make it to one ride at least. Because yes, this park is now officially open, like I've said multiple times, and we have our first guests coming in. All the rides are open. I think there's 1 or 2 that are maybe down for maintenance, we'll say, aka the game bugged and I can't open them. But you can already see some of the rides running, such as Talos right there, the first coaster in the park that we made, and Poseidon in the background, the first flat ride. And you can also tell how laggy this entire vlog is going to be. As we come under the archway right there, you've got some spinning cogs in the ceiling. You've got these posters around, designed by the amazing Joshua Luke. Thank you once again for doing them. They are incredible. And as we enter in, here we are, the final look at the Plaza of Isle of Discovery before it goes on the workshop. Basically today we're going to have a walk around the entire park and see some of the rides and roller coasters, maybe even go on some of them as well. And we're just going to talk about the build process of it and the sort of highlights, I would say, from the series and any major milestones in this park. And as you can see, the first milestone we made was the area of Olympus. I remember building up this area very slowly with like a raised terrain section. I really wanted to have it separate from the main plaza, but with a major coaster running right beside the main plaza and also around this area too, and that became Talos. And to be fair, I think it's only right that we actually go on the first coaster that was in this park. As we head inside the indoor queue line section, I'm going to become a queue jumper. Whoa. There is so much to explore, but we're going to go on this ride right now. Here we go. We're sat down. Look how much fire there is around. I remember making this as well. I had to sort of slow it down a little bit here. I was originally going to have it stop on this bit, but back then I really wanted the throughput to be just insane, and that was the target. So I managed to make a slow pre-show like that. To the main indoor section. This was all going to be outdoors as well, but I made the choice to put it all indoors. Here we go. The graphics look terrible because I've had to turn it all down. As you can tell, my PC is lagging so much. But if you do want to watch the full POVs where they're not lagging, then go and watch the All Rides POV video that I uploaded very, very recently. As we head down into the second launch, off we go then, right beside the family coaster Artemis. Then we head up into that weird roll into Outer Bank thing. I still don't know what to call that. And yeah, I won't show you too much of this POV because it is lagging a lot, but as you can see, airtime hills, Zero G roll here, there's just so much going on this coaster. This was the first time I properly got to build in this game and actually experience building a custom coaster and not a recreation. So I was literally just trying to do as much as I could. As you can see, it comes round into the final few corners, and then we should slowly enter the brake run through that inversion right here. Here we go. This is so laggy, I can't believe this. Very slow. And then into the brakes. Originally, that didn't even make it, so at least we made it that time. I mean, like I said, the area itself was designed to be very, like, multi-terrain level, and we were going to have this coaster on the outside of the area, and then this one delved deep into it, and I think it worked quite well, especially for a first one. Yeah. First one of the episode, I was very happy with this. As we even have the Talos ride photos here, you can see even the evolution from the first updates that we were having, or before any updates, because now we can actually do ride photo cameras and have them upload to these screens. But obviously I've left it as it is because this is what it used to be like, and I'm not going to change the past. As we come down from Olympus, we're going to head to the second area that I made using all the amazing Viking theming in the game, Storstheim. Walking down here again, I really wanted a nice view of the major coaster in the area as well, and I think this worked perfectly, just seeing it, the absolute beast in the distance, and obviously these longboats in front, and behind there was the water park, but of course it's not in this save. But if you want to go and check that out, the code will be in the description, or I guess you can just go and watch the full series to find out what the water park ended up like. And I was very much inspired from like Taron and a few other rides that are very terrain based and rock based to try and make this go in and out of the terrain a lot, and I think it worked well, especially this loop here. You can go straight underneath it, a lot like Black Mamba, again at Lantasia Land. And I do genuinely think this area is one of my favourites that we made. I mean, just look at it. It looks so natural, so beautiful, so Viking. But even with this, I remember there being a few issues with sight lines. Up there, I had to remove a load of trees because of the steampunk area of Industria behind this wall. Yes, there was so many different sightline issues. I struggled to try and fit in all the pipes and stuff below that line, and also the coaster in general. Even from the main plaza area itself, you can see the trees and how I've tried to cover it up. You can actually see a little bit of Viva coming out from the top of the trees. Maybe not from here. Oh, I've done such a good job, guys. Well, that all doesn't really matter when you eventually enter in through this alleyway to the area of Industria. And there it is in all its glory. Damn, this feels like so long ago since we made this. Obviously, a Vekoma tilt coaster right in front. That was the major ride in this area. And then we also have Viva off behind us, the sort of Intamin Impulse. Very strange ride. And obviously we had that Baron 1898 style sort of gear or cog on the side of the drop that was working. And as you can see, it tilts it downwards. I love that so much. I could say any of these coasters are my favourite. One of the cooler things about this area was a dark ride that a suggestion came up to put a flat ride inside and make it a sort of dark ride experience, and that was Rotarium in this corner here. And I thought, you know what, it's not the most major thing here, but let's try and see what this is going like now. And I thought this flat ride itself would work really well because it's a lot of gears and cogs and stuff, and as you can see, we're already spinning. There's loads of pipes around us. Loads of smoke as well. Oh god, where are we going? What is happening? But yeah, this was a cool concept that I'm really glad came about. An indoor flat ride to make it into some sort of dark ride experience. I really liked that idea. And my head isn't really liking how much we're flipping. Oh my god. That is enough of that, because we're going to explore the next area of the park that came shortly after this steampunk one, as Cognition goes right above. So cool. Amazonia in the corner over here. Now you can enter this area from this area, and there are also entrances over on the other side next to Ethereal Gardens and also the Viking Land. There it goes, Jungle Rush above our heads. That is probably my favourite coaster even still in this park. And the Amazonia logo right there on the rocks. Looking very nice. Definitely not inspired from Katanga Canyon. But yeah, you can literally delve so deep into the jungle. And again, with this area, I wanted it to be a lot of ramps up and down with the pathways, loads of like bridges. Even here, that's a sort of bridge play area over the path, which I think is cool. And then over here as well, you even had Mamba Strike, which is the Zamperla disco going around. That is probably what's lagging out my computer so much. Look at that go. All custom made by myself. And round it goes. Very, very cool. I've said cool about 16 times already, I apologise. But yeah, there's just so much to look at in this entire area with all of the trees around, all the things you can look at below and above you. I mean, below you right now is the River Rapids down there. I forgot about that. Where you can even set off these sequencers and spray boats below. And then, of course, you have Jungle Rush right here. Again, I would say about riding that, but currently my computer ain't liking this too much. Because as you can see, if I hop on one of the Jeeps, it is a little bit, yeah, it's running at about 5 FPS. Back to the main plaza. I think now we're going to head to the next themed area of Lantasia. Because if we head down here through the trees and then head to Lantasia to our right, welcome to Lantasia. Here we are, and look at the massive temple in front of us. I forget how nice that view is every time you come in, and how big the actual temple is itself. Just look at that. I don't really know how I managed to make that when there's no Chinese theming, but we'll take it. Jinshi off to the left. You also have Kongzong, which is just behind it, the Topspin, and Fusang, which is the B&M family inverted coaster. But in the temple behind me, obviously that's all over there, that is where the main ride in this area comes from, in my opinion. That being the Legend of Penglai. Now, if you're not too sure what this is, if you didn't watch the series, then go and watch it. What are you doing? But this ride is a Danse Macabre Intamin platform style ride. Motion platform, I think they call it. And I sort of went on Danse Macabre at Efteling and thought, I would want one of them in Planet Coaster. So for all of the different rotational devices and stuff you can use in this game, I tried to make one. And I think it went pretty well. If we head into one of these rows here and then head through these doors, as you can see, here is the main room for the ride. I'm not too sure what the timings are exactly, but it should cycle round automatically when you do download the park every so often. I think it's every few minutes or so, and as you can see, there's loads of stuff happening around you. Lanterns as well. There should be lanterns in the ceiling spinning around. There you go. And yeah, there's fire. There is a dragon that comes over there, but I'll leave you that to see when you download the park. And yeah, you can sort of see the technical standpoint of this, how it's rotating that way, then the next way, and then it's going on a diagonal and spinning around this way, then that way. It's so confusing, and it frustrated me so much. But the result in the end was so worth it. And I would probably say if you combine this and Jinshi right next to each other, the Mac Extreme Spinner, it's probably the best 1-2 in any area of the park. There was a lot of time and effort going into it, and that was the result. Absolutely love it. And then you head down the exit route through those doors, get blinded by the sun, and that was the Legend of Penglai. You can download the park to see the full cycle itself. I can't guarantee, oh, I'm in the fence. I can't guarantee it's going to work properly because I've been having a lot of issues with lag, and it's been sort of setting timers off at different times and messing it up. So it might not be perfect, but there we go. As we head through this section of the Chinese themed area of Lantasia, just sort of walking past, you've got the Topspin stuck, and then we head to the newest areas of the park, which include Rameses and the Red Rock Canyon. And we're going to head into Rameses first, and there we have it, the Mack Hyper Coaster in the background. As you can see, it's coming down that final, well, it's not final, it's the first turn. The first turn before that very tall lift hill, and all the way up there is not as tall as the tallest in the park anymore, but that was the tallest when it was built, and that was such a fun ride to build. I absolutely loved every minute of building that, and I just think the sense of scale of like the pyramids and even the temple back here for the Curse of Sutek, I think it all turned out really well. You've even got Sands of Time over here, the family launch coaster, and then of course that indoor boat ride, the Curse of Sutek, as said. Yeah, that is a big show building and a half. But we do like the area of Rameses, the Egyptian themed land. I'm not going to POV anything there because, well, we're lagging a lot. And again, most of the rides in there I've POV'd recently. But now we're going to head to the Wild West Red Rock Canyon. We haven't came through the proper entrance yet again, but that is all the way down there. And as you can see around us, you've got the seating area, and then above that, the huge dueling wooden coasters, well, one RMC, one Woody, and Blasting Billy's explosive Gold Rush as well, the indoor multi-dimension coaster. I love that ride. For a first indoor roller coaster in this game, I don't think I did too bad with that. As we head under the supports, as you can see, through to the main plaza area for Sheriff and Outlaw, and there is the sort of weird inversion over the drop on the RMC, as we can take a right hand turn and go to the entrances of them. And I think we're going to go for a back row ride of Sheriff. Now if you're too sort of annoyed by the fact I haven't been on everything. Then once again, there is that video with all the POVs, but then again, I am going to be doing a live stream about an hour or two after this video releases, where I'm once again going to tour the whole park and go around it a little bit and just show you guys what's going on and just answer questions and anything like that, and even show you a little bit of what's next. But there might actually be a teaser towards that at the end of this video. Ooh. As we head up into the station, as you can see, there is a train waiting for us, so let's get on. And I'm getting that back row ride like I wanted. Here we go, row 10. As you can see, swerving down that pre-drop, heading onto the water tower and up the lift hill. And as you can see, the RMC starts to catch up very, very slowly, just to make it a little bit more, you know, equal. And so you actually get some interaction down that drop. But here we go then, down the little pre-drop 2, because there was a pre-drop before the lift. Yeah, anyway, let's go down the main drop. With the RMC going over the top, I love that so much. That's probably my favourite drop in the park between the two coasters. That first main drop, but we go over that. As the RMC goes under, take a left turn. You'll be able to see it right there. Whoa, look at it go. And this is the best thing. Obviously in the POVs, when you see these rides mounted POVs right at the front, you can't see any of the interaction. But if you're actually on it, you'll be able to just look around you and see the coasters dueling like that. And we'll get another sort of glimpse of that in just a second. Right here, there you go. You're not going to see that otherwise if you just front mounting a POV. But here you can see that dueling happening, and it's so, so cool. Again, my first dueling coaster in the game as the gyro swing swings so high above us. Yeah, this is literally the first dueling coaster I think I've properly built in any Planet Coaster game, because the other game I built ones for fun and never themed them up, never did a proper layout, never finished them really. So this one was the first, and there you go. Oh, we lost just about. Oh, what a shame. But again, that might be one of my favourite ones in the park again. I'm just going to keep saying that for every single one. The shop, and then out into the open again. As it gets a little bit darker now, we head round into the final themed area that I made in the park, and that is DigitalDan. As you can see, the medieval type village that has been taken over by this experiment, or experiment 326, that we enter through down here. DigitalDan, there it is. And we'll get that amazing view of the Giga Coaster in front. Damn. What a coaster to finish on. Just the huge sense of scale that that ride has is just insane. And we're not even stood right underneath it yet until now. There you go. I can barely fit it on screen. Look at that. We have to ride this thing, surely. And here we go as the sun sets. We're already halfway up the lift hill. Look at the views around us. That is... I was actually kind of sad, you know. We've come to the end of this series. This is the final coaster, the final major coaster we built. And it's the Intamin Giga right here. And we're going to drop down the final ride in the park that we're going to go on today before the fireworks show. Here we go. Look at that lag, I love it. Down that huge drop. Damn. The lights haven't turned on yet because it's not night time, but it's still slightly dark in the valleys. Got a lovely overbank. Outer bank, whatever you want to call it. A nice speed hill, loads of airtime on that. And then we go up the weird reverse cobra roll type thing. Yeah, I can't believe this series has finished. I mean, we started this in November of last year. Since the game came out, I've been every week trying to get an episode out of this. Obviously, 31 episodes now. 32 if you're counting this one. It's just mental to see how fast this series has flown by, but I've loved every single minute of it, especially building these last few areas, even if the piece count did suffer a little bit, which is not going to be the case for the next park, but we'll talk about that at some point in the future as we take down towards the ground again. This coaster is so long, I forget how long it is. As we head through the final few hills up over the huge airtime hill, that's the last big one left. And then we go left, right, loads of different dips. Right past the queue line, over the castle wall. Just so much happening. Like, I'm so happy with how the theme came out on this as well. And then we head into the brake run shortly. There we go. Beautiful stuff. As it's getting properly dark now, almost time for the finale fireworks show on the lake and around the park. We're going to head past the show venue that was recently made for Lantasia. I also just wanted to say a massive thank you for all the support on this series. Genuinely, when I started it, I didn't think it would become this big of a series and go on this long. And to see all of you guys in the comments absolutely loving it and getting in on the sort of name suggestions and everything like that, I absolutely love it. So thank you so much once again. And the next series is going to be even bigger and better. I can promise you that. As we head through this gardens one more time, you got some outlaw track before I got RMC'd, some Rita track. Maybe that's why it's not open right now. Loads of other stuff as well. If you want to check that out, there's a few other little Easter eggs in there, so go and have a look when the park goes up for download. As we head round through Ethereal Gardens, as you can see, all the lights are on and it's looking lovely. All the lights are on in the park currently. Look at the carousel under there, that's so nice. And we've made it back to base at the front entrance of the park. Again, massive thank you for all the support on this series. It's been an absolutely amazing one. And as the finale fireworks show begins, all I have left to say is stay tuned for the next series and subscribe so you don't miss it when it starts. Thank you so much for watching this series. It's been a pleasure. See you next time.
went as well as could be expected, didn't it?